Local 4 News begins right now with a breaking news alert.
We're following two big breaking news stories here at noon. The first from Flint, where General Motors just made a big announcement. The other story from Lansing, where former Michigan State University Dean William Strampel becomes the first Michigan State official tied to Larry Nassar to be convicted. But let's go ahead and begin with breaking news out of Wyandotte at this hour. That's where police are investigating an attempted bank robbery. This happened at the Monroe Bank and Trust downriver. We don't have very many details right now, but we do know police say they are on the lookout for an older white woman. If you have any information at all, call Wyandotte Police. Our other big story today, the William Strampel verdict. A jury has found the former MSU dean guilty of misconduct in office and willful neglect of duty. That makes him the first former or current MSU official convicted following the Michigan Attorney General's investigation into MSU and its handling of convicted sex offender Larry Nassar, who worked in the university's sports medicine clinic. Karen Drew has been following the news for us today. And Karen, what do we know right now?
Well, Sandra, there is a lot to share this noon. Like you said, the former dean who had oversight of the now imprisoned sports doctor at MSU was found guilty of neglect of duty and misconduct in office. However, he was acquitted on a more serious criminal sexual conduct charge. Take a look. This is video from inside the courtroom today after more than 5 hours of deliberation. Jurors found evidence did support the Michigan Attorney General's argument that Strampel used his power as dean of MSU's College of Osteopathic Medicine to proposition and control female medical students. However, they did not find Strampel guilty of a second-degree criminal sexual conduct charge. Now, that charge was related to him allegedly groping a medical student during a scholarship event back in 2014. Now, let's listen to the moment the Strampel verdict was read.
As to count one, misconduct of a public official, what is the verdict of the jury?
Guilty.
And as to count three, willful neglect of duty, what is the verdict of the jury?
Guilty.
As to count four, willful neglect of duty, what is the verdict of the jury?
Guilty.
And as to count five, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, what is the verdict of the jury?
Not guilty.
And Mr. Foreperson, is that the verdict of the jury?
Yes.
Members of the jury, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Meantime, Attorney General Dana Nessel is sounding off on the verdict. She issued a statement. It reads in part, today's verdict sends a clear message. It is time to change the culture in our schools and medical communities so that our female students and doctors receive the same treatment and respect as their male counterparts. Public officers who brandish their power to demean, insult, harass, objectify, and abuse female students will be held accountable. Meantime, Strampel's time in court is not done yet. He will have to return on July 31st for sentencing. The misconduct in office charge carries a maximum sentence of up to 5 years in prison. The willful neglect of duty charge carries a 1-year max each. That's the very latest in the newsroom. Send it back to you, Sandra.
Thank you, Karen. Also breaking at this hour, General Motors will invest $150 million in its Flint truck plant, trying to rev up production of its new Chevy Silverado and other vehicles. GM President Mark Reuss made the announcement at a news conference at the Flint assembly plant. That's where we find our business editor, Rod Maloney. And Rod, tell us more about this investment.
Well, Sandra, you know, General Motors is making it abundantly clear they intend to make money pretty much with everything they do. So look behind here. You can see high profitability in heavy-duty Silverado pickup trucks and also Sierra pickup trucks. The line is moving, and in fact, on Monday, they're going to start shipping the 2020 model. Now, behind me here is the assembly plant. One of the things you need to know about the assembly plant is it's very cramped, it's been very tight, and they have been building these trucks as fast as they can, as much as they can. 5,000 workers here doing that, but they're just too cramped. They don't have enough room. So General Motors said, we're going to fix that. $150 million is going into the plant to try and expand the plant, give them room, give them more modern equipment. Let's hear from Mark Reuss as he made the announcement just about an hour ago.
We're boosting production by 40,000 trucks because we have invested more than $1.6 billion in the plant since 2013. $1.6 billion. The effect of all that investment and all those improvements to the facility and the new generation of trucks means that we can considerably boost our heavy-duty production as a result.
And what that means is more jobs, more and better equipment, more and more trucks coming off of the line, more and more profitability for the company, and also for the employees here, it's job security. You have a product to build, you have a lot of new equipment to build it, they keep selling, you have a job. And so there's a lot of comfort in this today. We'll be hearing more about that on Local 4 News at 5 and 6. Reporting live in Flint, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Yeah, a lot of comfort indeed. Thank you, Rod. Well, it is absolutely gorgeous outside as we take a look outside through our Windsor sky cam right now. Brandon, though, tracking some wet weather headed our way, right, Brandon?
You can see it there on the radar picture. It is close by, but we are going to enjoy a dry rest of the day as we see a freighter. Either the video is, or they're working on their brakes on the river. We have gorgeous temperatures in the middle 70s. You can see 75 at Metro Airport Ann Arbor, 73. Adrian's at 73. On our way to about 78 degrees with a nice blend of sun and clouds. That wind, again, out of the south, just warming us up. A light hair dryer set on warm, but it's not real muggy out there. You can see some of the high clouds out there that are going to be on the increase. And here are those showers that we're tracking for later tonight and overnight. Thursday rain as well, Sandra. We're tracking it all coming up.
And more breaking news now. President Trump has asserted executive privilege to block Congress's access to documents about adding a citizenship question to the 2010 census. The move coming just moments before the House Oversight Committee started a hearing to vote whether or not to hold Attorney General William Barr and Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross in contempt of Congress. Committee Chairman Cummings said he scheduled the vote because the Attorney General and Commerce Secretary have not complied with committee subpoenas. The vote, however, has been postponed so members could debate and read the administration's letter of executive privilege.
We'll postpone the vote until later this afternoon so members have additional time to review this letter and any other materials they may deem necessary.
Meantime, the House on Tuesday authorized federal court action against President Trump and any of his advisors who defy congressional subpoenas. The resolution allows the Judiciary Committee to sue Attorney General William Barr and former White House counsel Don McGahn for refusing to comply with subpoenas related to the Mueller report. Back now to the census question. If Republican efforts to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census succeeds, millions of Americans could go uncounted. According to a study from the Urban Institute, the next census could fail to count about 4 million Americans. Black and Latino Americans would be the most impacted groups. The report also found they could be undercounted by as much as 4%. In other political news this noon, the Trump administration will hold migrant children at an Oklahoma Army base that served as a World War II Japanese internment camp. You're looking at video right now from those internment camps in World War II, as well as contemporary video from Fort Sill. Fort Sill has been selected to detain 1,400 children until they can be given to an adult relative. From 1942 until 1945, it was the policy of the U.S. government that people of Japanese descent would be interred in isolated camps. Enacted in reaction to Pearl Harbor, the Japanese internment camps are now considered one of the most atrocious violations of American civil rights in the 20th century. Just into our newsroom, after passionate pleas, the House committee has voted to extend the 9/11 compensation fund. What needs to happen next to get much needed money in the right hands? But first, destruction, fighting, and tear gas on the streets of Hong Kong. The reason tens of thousands are protesting, and actually protesters are clashing there with police.